Hello everyone, my name is Prithvi and welcome once again to Backstage Millionaires. In this video of Startup 101 series, I'm going to be talking about term sheets. I'm going to be talking about what a term sheet is, what are the things which are involved in a term sheet, and what are the things that one needs to keep in mind before signing his or her first term sheet. So, going by the textbook definition of a term sheet, it's basically an agreement between a founder and an investor in a company, or investors in a company, because there could be multiple investors in one round. So, that agreement has all the details about that investment. It has all the details about the kind of money that these investors are investing in that company. It also has details about the kind of equity that this company is giving back to these investors, and it also has details about the kind of shares that this company is issuing back to the investors. So these shares could be primary shares, secondary shares, convertible debentures, or it could also be that one of the founders might be selling his or her personal shares to actually raise the round. Apart from that, this agreement, this term sheet also has information about whether or not these investors are getting a board seat, or the kind of preferential treatment that these investors might have when they're participating in any further round. So for an example, let's say there's a company which is raising a round from an investor, and the investor is really interested in that company, and he says that, okay, I'm investing in this round, but I also want to be a part of your next round, and when I invest in the next round along with other investors, I need a preferential treatment. So I need either these shares on a discounted rate or anything else which is mutually agreed upon. Because this investor is coming in at a very early stage, a lot of times they do get these preferential treatment as I spoke about. All these things are completely, right there involved in that term sheet, and these are very, very clearly written. So apart from that, the term sheet might be different in terms of which round you're raising, what are the kind of terms on which you're raising that round. So let's say in seed or angel capital, because there are not a lot of complications involved in that. You're not giving a board seat, you're not really giving these voting rights to the investor. So the term sheet could be really simple. But when you're raising a bigger round, when the investor is investing a lot of money into your company, they're asking for a board seat, they're also asking for the voting rights whenever there is a crucial decision about a company. Those things, when they're involved in a term sheet, it could be a little bit more complicated than how a term sheet is when you're raising a very, very early round, let's say seed or angel round. So a lot of people ask me, is getting a term sheet the final indication, is the final confirmation of getting an investment? To that, my answer is no, because the term sheet is only the first initial indication of interest from an investor, in which an investor says that, okay, I like your company and I want to talk more about it, and these are the terms on which I am ready to invest in your company. Once there is a term sheet in the hands of a founder, he has three options. He can either accept it, he can either reject it, or he can go back to renegotiate the terms of the investment. Let's say he might ask for more money, he might ask for less equity. For an example, if I give you an example, there is a company which is raising $100 for 10% equity. The investors cuts down on the investment part, and he says, okay, I'll take 10% equity, but I can only give you $90. I cannot give you $100 like you asked for. The founder goes back again to the investor, and he says, okay, I'm ready to give you 10% equity, but I ask for $97. Pretty much the kind of interactions that we have seen on Shark Tank series, if you really follow that series. So these kind of negotiations take place when there is a term sheet in the hands of the founder, and also when a founder has a term sheet from an investor, he can also go back to different investors where he's talking to those investors to raise money, and then he says that, okay, this is the term sheet I have from this investor. Will you mind giving me a better offer than this? So this sort of puts a founder in a better place to get a term sheet from one or the other investors. And once a term sheet is agreed upon, once both the parties, the founder and the investor, they sign that term sheet, after that they basically go to next steps, which is due diligence. So due diligence is a process where the investor or the investors, they verify the kind of claims that this founder is making. Let's say about revenue, let's say about clients, or about the growth of a company. And once everything is agreed upon, then they go to the paperwork, and then obviously they invest in the company. So another thing, as I spoke about at the beginning of the video, is what are the things that one needs to keep in mind before signing their first term sheet. Because a lot of times founders are really desperate to raise that money, that when they get a term sheet, they don't really care about everything else which is written in that term sheet, and they only care about the kind of money that they're raising and the equity that they're diluting. As I mentioned in the earlier part of this video, that there could be a lot of other things which which are involved in a term sheet. It could be that what is the kind of a discounted price the investor might look for in the next round or a board seat. So there are a lot of these fine texts which are involved in a term sheet, which a first-time founder or a first-time a founder who's raising the funds for the first time might not really be aware about. So in these kind of cases, it is always advisable to actually go to a lawyer or go to someone who really understands the world of investments or the term sheets to actually consult and make sure that every single of your demands have been taken care of and you are not really being looted, or you have as equal rights as the investor. So no matter how big or small one round is, always go to a lawyer and talk about every single point which is involved in a term sheet. So that's about the term sheets. I really hope you liked this video and there was something for you to take away from this. And if you have any doubts, feel free to write in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to reply to every single comment of yours. And if there is anything that you want me to make a video on, please suggest me in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. Please like and share this video and share this with anyone who you think might find this useful. And subscribe to the channel and keep supporting like you have been. Thank you for this and I'll see you in the next one.